Hi everyone, thanks for tuning in again. And if you're new here, hello and welcome. My name is Jill, and this is where I've been documenting my weight loss journey for the past 3 months. So I'm pretty sure everyone who is on a GLP-1 medication and people who are thinking of starting their journey have all heard the horrible side effects that can occur when taking any of the GLP-1 medications, Zepbound, Ozempic, Mounjaro, Wegovy, any of them. We've all heard it. And I'm talking about pretty serious side effects like gastroparesis, stomach paralysis, pancreatitis, bowel obstruction, like just really serious things. Most of the time we hear about these horror stories on the news, mainstream media, but sometimes we hear about it from our own friends and family. And I would know because not only did I nearly talk myself out of taking this medication, I almost convinced my mom to avoid it as well. And that would have been absolutely tragic because she has an incredible story of healing that I think you would benefit from. So with that said, I'd like to introduce my mom, otherwise known as Sadie. So I think the best way to do this is to kind of go back a little bit, and maybe you can just talk about what brought you to the point where you felt you needed to try Ozempic. And you're taking Ozempic, so you're not taking tirzepatide, you're doing semaglutide. So what brought you to that point?
I was just sick and tired of being sick and tired. In other words, the Trulicity that I was on was not working. I had ongoing side effects. I just couldn't get a handle on them at all. It was ongoing.
Yeah.
And I used to wake up every morning and say, is this going to be like the last day of my side effects? No, that never happened. Yeah. And it got to the point where, I was like, why am I on this medicine? It's not helping me at all.
Right.
So that's when I decided to just like draw the line in the sand and say no more. No more. I don't need this at all.
So did you have similar side effects with Ozempic?
Yes, I did. I had the lightheadedness. I felt nauseous. I had the burping. I had the diarrhea. And I said, okay, this is either going to stop or this is going to be another repeat performance. In 48 hours, I kid you not, Jill, in 48 hours, I felt so much better. It was like a general sense of wellness. I felt more active. The nauseousness went away. The belching went away. I used to feel so bloated, nothing fit, nothing, it was terrible. But with this medicine, in 2 days, my side effects went away. And I was left with a feeling of wellness. I wanted to get up. I wanted to do. I wanted to be active. I wanted to be present.
Yeah.
And little did I know that my GI issues were going to get so much better.
Right. So
I couldn't believe it.
We should mention that you've had GI issues for a long time, way before you started on Trulicity. So you were on Trulicity for how long?
I was on Trulicity for about 3 months.
Okay, and
3 or 4 months.
Your GI issues go back years.
Yes.
Years.
Oh, yes.
Where you suffered.
Yes, we're longtime friends. Yes, I had the colonoscopy several times. Yeah. Several times.
Your most recent one was like in, I want to say January, maybe? And everything always came back fine.
Normal.
Yeah.
Fine. I had a complete blood workup or whatever you call that. Several times. Yeah. Nothing out of the ordinary.
Yeah. Yeah, they didn't know. They were just thinking it was like IBS. You just got to eat better.
I was thinking also maybe it was, a nervous stomach, like they say.
Right. So right before you got on Ozempic, you were doing particularly bad. And you would come over, you'd bring your own food, usually like soup or broth.
Yes.
You wouldn't have dessert. You stopped drinking coffee.
Right, I switched. Yeah. I made the necessary dietary changes and adjustments just to accommodate, something to help me. And
Yeah.
I used to have something to eat, and in 10 minutes,
Yep.
I had to go to the bathroom. It
Yeah.
was either that or feeling nauseous, something, always happened.
Right.
And that made me very depressed,
Yeah.
very depressed. That had a direct impact on my social life. I couldn't go out anywhere. I couldn't plan.
Yeah.
Because really, I used to go on 3-hour drives, to my doctor's appointments, and 3 hours to come home. And during those 6 or 7 hours, I couldn't even drink water.
Yeah.
It was terrible.
Yeah.
That had a direct impact on everything I did.
So some people would say that the reason why you're experiencing benefits, improvement in your GI, is because the Ozempic is making it easier to eat less. Since you're eating less, you're not having your GI issues.
No, not true.
What would you say?
I would have to disagree, because like I just stated, I made the necessary adjustments in my eating habits, in my diet.
So does your primary doctor, is that the one who prescribed the Ozempic, or is it your endo?
No, my endo.
Your endo prescribed it. Okay. So does any doctor know the benefits that you've been experiencing since starting, the GI benefits that you've been experiencing since starting Ozempic?
No. I have a pending appointment with my primary doctor, and I will definitely bring this to the table.
Yeah.
Because I think that this is something that my primary doctor should know.
Yeah.
And I think that she should know, so that way, she could be open-minded about it, also to help her patients.
Yeah. Yeah,
because
that it doesn't have to be just for weight loss.
Right.
It could potentially be
for gastric issues.
Yeah. And that reminds me, so the reason why we started talking about this in the first place is because I had seen on Reddit, someone was sharing their story of how since starting, they were on Zepbound, but since starting that medication, their GI issues got better, and they were wondering if there were other people who were experiencing similar side effects. And it had almost 200 comments. I took screenshots and sent you.
Yeah.
Almost 200 comments from people saying the same thing. Yes, it's helped me. Yes, I had my gallbladder removed and I've had GI issues ever since. I've had GI issues since, for years, and nothing has helped except being on this medication. So you're not unique, like I'm sure there's a lot of other people just like you who are experiencing that. And I'm sure that there's even more people who maybe are afraid to start this medication because of the GI horror stories that they hear. And it could actually maybe help.
I remember when you texted me one Sunday.
Yeah, exactly.
It was about maybe 10:30 or 11 o'clock, and by that time, I'm dead. I'm sleeping. But nevertheless, you thought that it was that important that you had to text me at that time.
Yeah.
And, you said, oh, be careful with this medicine, Ozempic. It has very, very bad side effects. It's going to blow up your stomach.
Right.
You're going to, have an early grave, and, put the fear of God into me.
Yeah. Yeah. So that happens because I had watched, I was hearing about Ozempic on and off, but then I watched a whole hour-long special where this guy who worked for the pharmaceutical industry was basically talking about the negatives, the horrible things that could happen, and I got scared, and I said, because he was talking about how this was like a matter of course that they were giving everyone who's type 2 diabetes, and I know since you have type 2,
yes.
I was thinking I had to make sure you were aware not to let your doctor prescribe you that because it sounded so bad. And then, of course, I go to the doctor 2 days after that.
Never say never.
Never say never. And I end up getting on not Ozempic, Zepbound, but a GLP-1 medication. And then, you know, I had to swallow my pride. But do you think that you would have told me that you were starting your journey on a GLP-1 medication if I hadn't first told you that I actually was eating my words and I was starting Zepbound?
I don't think I would have told you.
Yeah.
If I want to be totally honest,
Yeah.
I don't think I would have told you. Because as you know, I've been struggling with my weight my entire life. I was that chubby little girl that looked so cute.
Yeah.
And, you know, I wouldn't have told you because I wouldn't have wanted to put myself out there for you to know, the family know,
Yeah.
you know. And I didn't want to fail again.
Yeah.
You know how they say people are afraid to succeed?
Yeah.
You know, and the same thing goes for failure. You know, people are scared
Yeah,
to fail,
of course, yeah.
or to have people say, you know, I told you so. I wouldn't have said anything until maybe, you know, a couple of months down the line.
Yeah.
To be totally honest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm glad that I shared with you.
And I'm glad I shared with you.
But like you said, never say never.
Never say never.
Yeah.
It's true.
So I think it's important that I really think it's important that people know that they can have these side effects. Like it depends on how it reacts, like any medication, you know?
Right. Everybody's different.
Yeah.
Everybody, you know, metabolizes medicine differently. And, you know, just give it a shot.
Mm-hmm.
Give it a shot because I had no idea that
No pun intended.
Yeah, no pun intended. Exactly.
yeah.
You know, I had no idea that I was going to reap this extra benefit.
Yeah, who knew?
Who knew?
Who knew after years of suffering with that, you know?
Yes. I mean, that's a godsend. I'm telling you, it was a bonus. I had no idea.
Yeah. So I'm pretty sure that I know the answer to this, but if you did not experience any of the benefits, like the weight loss benefits, would you still take a weekly injection?
For my GI?
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, that GI problem had ruined my life.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just, you know, that was it. You know, I did what my stomach told me to do. That's it.
Exactly.
So I would definitely take it.
Yeah. So you had a setback because of the shortages.
Yes, I had a 3-week
Right.
setback,
Right.
which is a lot, but
Yeah.
almost a month.
Right. So you were on it for 2 months.
I was on it for 2 months. I lost approximately 25 pounds.
Yeah. That's great.
Believe it or not.
Yeah. And then
But then I had the
shortage,
lapse,
yeah.
the shortage lapse. Now this time I'm on 0.2,
right.
and it's been only a week,
Right.
almost a week. Tomorrow will be a week.
Okay. So tomorrow's your injection day.
Yes.
Okay.
And
you feel-
I weighed myself,
Okay.
and I was 217. Last night I weighed myself, which you shouldn't weigh yourself at night, but
Yeah.
anyway, 214.
Oh, that's great.
So
That's
what,
3
3 pounds? Yeah.
That's really good.
Yes.
So this was a lot of fun.
Yes, it was.
This
Thank
was
you.
interesting. Who would have thought we'd be doing this 3 months ago?
I know.
So, but
Interviewing your mom.
yeah, but I knew that other people would benefit from hearing your story, and especially knowing that it's not unique to you, that there's a lot of people who are saying the same thing, that they're experiencing benefits, GI benefits from taking the medication. So I think it's just important. So my advice to you, if you're on the fence, talk to your doctor, of course, figure that out first, but it might not be a bad idea to see if this works and just give it a try, and maybe you'll find relief for your GI issues as well. So thanks for joining, and we'll catch you next time.
Bye.